Hello and welcome to another Let's Play video of, oh my god, this is the third time that I've tried doing this introduction right now, and I've screwed it up yet again. This is a Let's Play of Iron Gaia. I think this is episode number 6, I think. I don't know, these Let's Plays are becoming a bit more sporadic now, so I'm starting to lose track. But for what I can remember, this is probably the 6th one. So welcome to the 6th Let's Play video of Let's Play Iron Gaia by Yellow Magic. Although the game itself was made by Max McGee, aka Legion. Where we last left off, we were somewhere that I don't quite remember. Therefore, it's probably best if I just get started. I don't have a huge amount to talk about today, besides the game itself. I guess there are a few things I could touch upon here and there, though. And you might notice today that I have a bit of a cold, so if you hear me actually sneezing every now and then, don't worry, I'm not dying. I just got a bit of a cold because it's getting quite cold here in London, UK. And it's funny because today I actually booked a day off work, and I just happened to be a bit sick today, which is great. I guess somewhat ironic or something, if that's how I use the word. So yeah. And it also happens to be Friday night, and here I am doing a Let's Play of an RPG Maker 2000 game. Go figure. One thing that I wanted to discuss with myself and anyone else who might be watching, which there are probably not many of you, is music in games, or more specifically RPGs. What kind of music do you prefer in your RPGs? Are you more of a medieval type, classic, rousing piece in your battles, or... You know what I mean? Are you more of the traditional type of guy when it comes to music and RPGs, or are you more of a experimental type? Oh, what happens if we actually include lyrics in this? How will the vibe of this game come through? So, I mean, personally, I like it when games try to do something a bit different in terms of music. I mean, look at this game, for example. You just start it up, and it comes up with a Kahuna cameo song in Keeping Secrets of Silent Earth or something like that. And I thought it was a nice touch, as I've said countless times before. And I don't really see why you can't use songs that utilize lyrics in games. Because when you think about it, the human voice is just another instrument, isn't it? Sure, it can have meaning behind it, but really there isn't much separating professional singers from other professional musicians. You still have to worry about things like chords and pitches and all sorts, so it's still part of the music, you know. Lyrics are still part of the music, because behind them is no singing. All that sounds really kind of obvious, but it's just something that I thought I should bring up anyway. Yes, I want to override. That isn't good. Whoop whoop. Oh, we now have control of Robo the Robot. Or to be more specific, the Servobot. That's pretty cool. I wonder if this could be one of those puzzles where you alternate between your own character parts or something like the final dungeon in Final Fantasy VI. Because that'd be pretty nifty. Even if it's just one person in each, not even person, one character in each party. By the way, it's snowing again. Merry Christmas. I don't actually do much for Christmas myself. As it so happens, I was born into a Christian family. So, we don't really do much. I do go home for Christmas though, to see my family. Oh great, it's a time thing. Rover only has 2 minutes to make it across the debris onto the next block. If he does not make it across, he'll have to fight. Fight. Hint. Find the straightest route. Okay, where am I going? Which am I going? Okay, so is this like a maze or something? It's not a very well done maze. The character set doesn't even align with the tile set. Oh, I'm gonna have to fight Ota. Yeah, at least I found something. Woohoo! Yeah, who cares, I'll take my time I think. Chances of me finding my way through this maze type thing are slim to none anyway. I've never really been traditionally good at these. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me a bit of Final Fantasy VI, again, I know, where you find yourselves in the Opera Museum, and then all trust the octopus is being a bit of a jerk. That's what it reminds me of. So I have no idea if what I'm doing relates to that one hint or not. This also reminds me of Final Fantasy VII, getting out of Midgar. So many references everywhere, although I'm not sure if those were intentional. Oops. That was actually decent. Made it. And I got 1 item. I wonder if I could go back, actually. Nope. No, Max has accounted for that. I can't be clever and go back. Right. Huh? Who's this mysterious person who cannot save? I gotta say, this is a nice little break from the usual you go somewhere and then you go from that place to another place and then you just keep hitting checkpoints. So it's linear, but at the same time it's doing something a bit different. The only thing I'm worried about is, I mean, look at this thing, 60 seconds of life support. I guess this is the same maze that I traversed as Rover the Robot, but I'm just wondering what happens if I do not meet those 60 seconds. Am I gonna die? Am I gonna have to go through the whole thing again? Or am I gonna have to fight or something like I might have had to do with Rover the Robot? 65 seconds, make up your mind. I like that. He'll start to take suffocation damage. This is very bad. At a few more minutes, he'll be dead. Hint, avoid debris altogether. Okay. Okay. It does look like I can go through there. No. That's strange. How am I supposed to get out this thing? Is it broken? Whoa! Oh, I could fly! What the hell? Or is that a chipset error? Or a tileset error? Because this is very strange. No, it's not. I can actually do something. Well, no. Okay, this is pretty, like, I don't really know where I'm supposed to go. There was something about space debris, but I don't see any space debris, man. All I see is an impossibility. Oh, hello. Oh, mate, I'm gonna die. I don't really like... I was just about to say, I don't like forced puzzles, where if you don't actually pass the puzzle, you die. At least I don't think this is a great thing to have in RPG games. Because you might be a complete and utter fucking idiot like I am, and just not be able to do certain puzzles very well. Eventually get to the point where you're basically hitting a brick wall because you just can't advance to a certain point in the game. I don't think this is going to come to that. And even if it did come to that, I could go into the RPG Maker 2000 engine and actually tweak settings myself. So that's never really going to be an issue. But I mean, I definitely am not a fan of having to go through a puzzle to advance within a certain point in the story. It feels like an optional item that I could get, a bonus item or weapon or a piece of armor or something, then yeah, I'd be all for it, but this type of thing, I'm not a fan. What do you think? We need a bit more interaction within these Let's Plays, because it really feels like I'm just Let's Playing to myself here. And Max, every now and then he will just comment, but not a huge amount, so I want to hear more from you guys, if any of you are actually watching. So please tell me, how do you feel about puzzles in games? If you think they're actually a decent idea, in the sense that you can't actually get to a certain point. Oops. If you think that they're actually a good idea, such that you can't advance the story without actually going through a puzzle, then feel free to shout and yell at me and say your Yellow Magic, your ideas of game design are just horribly wrong. Anyway, we progressed. What kind of sci-fi movies were available in the future? That's a bit of a messed up sentence, isn't it? But the game is in 2058, something like that. So is everything like holograms and shit? Or maybe he's a fan of like Die Hard or something. Maybe he just watched Interstellar. Interstellar was an interesting movie. It was, I think, both the best and worst movie of 2014. Damn, son. You don't feel like a rat in a cage? Despite all your rage? Well, so it looks like that bridge is going to be repaired in 1 hour and 37 minutes. Until then, we're just going to freeze to death. This might be a good time to go over my thoughts. Now this game thinks it's Hotel Dusk, although that came out a bit later than this. 2008, if I remember right. Yep, this is a good time to save the game. That's actually pretty helpful, you know. He's a 22-year-old aerospace engineer, which is pretty damn cool. As far as I know, here in the UK, if you do an aero engineering course, it would last about 4 years, and you wouldn't necessarily have to do another postgraduate course or anything, so I guess it is feasible in any universe that this guy is 22 years old, aka my age, and an aerospace engineer. I have a couple of friends actually who did aerospace engineering and are now working as engineers as well, to a certain extent anyway. So he's sitting here to gather, standing here to gather his thoughts, and then he realizes he doesn't have many of them. Haven't actually seen that many people. Hey, where's the robot? Where's Rover the robot? What is this, haiku? I'm too weak to movie. Thanks for the imagery there. Come on. Thanks. Yeah, see, this is 2208. Well, it's not. No, it's not. I don't really know. I don't really know what year this is, but all I really know is that there's sometime in the future. California. I know where that is. West Coast. Sorry, you might have heard me burp or something right now. I've just had dinner, so... Ooh, are we even get a flashback? Goddamn idiot box. I love that. I love that phrase, idiot box. I remember my brother did a poem back when he was in 5th grade or something about the idiot box and how it was tearing up his life. Time flies. This guy's got a face graphic, it must be important. Australia's pretty big. Although, hang on, is Australia in itself a continent? So they tried to do, like in that movie Armageddon, but apparently it went wrong. Not enough Bruce Willis, I bet. I was actually watching The Fifth Element yesterday. Rewatching it. It was actually my second time watching it. Pretty good movie. Quite sci-fi, so... But not a whole lot in common with this game. Yep, that looks like a CNN newscaster, alright. What newscaster does that look like? Wolf Blitzer? Is that you, Wolf? You know what this reminds me of? That there was that scene in oh my god, there was that scene in True Blood, I think it's called, the vampire show, when there's a newscaster just telling the news, you know, as a newscaster does. And suddenly, while they're in the middle of it, a vampire just comes running in, tears the heart out of the newscaster, and it starts ranting about like vampires versus humans and all that shit. And he goes on for this like 5-minute rant, just absolutely furious at like the state of the world. And then in the very end, he just goes, "And back to the weather," or something like that. If only it were that easy. It might be that easy if it's the end of the world. Barack Obama? That doesn't look like Barack. Looks like Barack got a facelift. Barack Obama created our Gaia. So it's a bit like the ISS then, Iron Gaia. That's interesting. Oh, God. Won't be sacrificed now. Wait, what? Questions, really? I don't think you'd open questions if you're faced with that kind of dilemma. You know, being the president and having to tell everyone this amazing news. The only one guy who would be able to tell this news well and be able to get away with it would be the WWE wrestler Benny's Barrett. And now, if you're not familiar with Benny's Barrett, his gimmick basically is that whenever someone's doing like a promo or something in the middle of the ring, he just comes up out of nowhere, his music starts playing, and he's got this Preston accent, so I guess it's close to Manchester where I lived for about 4 years, so my accent kind of would be similar to his in a way, but not quite because I've been around so many different places. And anyway, yeah, this guy comes in with his Preston accent in like a random American city. I just go, "I'm afraid I've got some bad news." So if only America had bad news Barrett delivering the news about Iron Gaia and everything. And in the middle of that little piece of information, I've kind of lost the plot. Oh well. They'll develop cures to cancer, don't you know? Yeah, okay. See, if I was in the middle of this situation, I'd be panicking the fuck out. I mean, I don't know how these people are able to just sit there and ask calm questions, you know? Is that how you spell personnel? I think it's got another S. I like that. Please stay calm. A comet is approaching the Earth. The thing is, even if you did get a whole nuclear battery out to hit a comet at the same time, wouldn't the fallout from that be pretty disastrous, depending on how close the comet is? So at this one point, a million, oh nice sound effect there, a million, several million Americans were probably throwing up in unison. That's how I spell definitely. Anarchy the USA. US of A. I wonder what life is like in the USA compared to the UK. It's something I've been thinking about for quite a while. Can I move? Nope. I guess the one thing that I wouldn't appreciate about the USA is the lack of free healthcare. But I'm assuming if I got a job there, like in technology or something, they'll do decent health insurance plan or something. I have no idea, but it's interesting to think about, personally. Pretty solid storytelling here, I have to say. I like the whole use of the journal to really show the raw emotion behind what was going on with this whole comet hitting the Earth and people having to evacuate on this Iron Gaia thing. It's quite good. Kudos. I can kind of guess what happens at this point, but I'm not going to spoil it. $8 surely this would be a bit longer. Oh, I guess that's the point. He's trying to lie. Who's actually speaking right now? Who is this blonde-haired girl? Is it the one on the left or the one on the right? Or the little kid? I have no clue. I guess it doesn't matter. No, it's the people on the left. I guess that face set somewhat matches. Food. Food is good. That doesn't look like that sprite very much. Oh my god, it's Don Miguel! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! Oh, what a cameo. 5-star cameo. Now, is he going to talk in broken English? No, he's supposed to say something like, okay, with an E, and like several exclamation marks. For those of you who don't know, and if you don't, shame on you, Don Miguel is the guy who translated the original Japanese version of RPG Maker 2000, and I think he also attempted 2003 as well, although that was also handled by someone else in the community. And the thing with Don Miguel is that he made this one sample game for RPG Maker 2000 and his translation called Don's Adventures, and in that little game he used the character set and the face set to personify himself. The very face set and character set that you can see right now. So that's why I went Don Miguel all of a sudden. And because the guy was Russian, well, I guess not because the guy was Russian, it really has nothing to do with it, but Don's English wasn't great, and this is something that you could see a lot of if you have the RPG Maker 2000 translation. I mean, although there's the problem where Japanese itself, it has a certain form, what is it? Subject, verb, and then the object. English would be subject, no, sorry. Japanese is subject, object, verb. And something like English would be subject, verb, object. So this basically led to not the best translation being made for RPG Maker 2000. And this is compounded with the fact that Don's English wasn't great. Really, if you go up and open RPG Maker 2000, a lot of the translations just seem like indecipherable. A lot of the English, I mean. Okay, I have to say this is actually going on for quite a while. I mean, I've already understood the emotion pretty decently from the white-haired dude and his kids, so there isn't really any need for this part, I have to say. I don't really care about what the guys on the left are saying. Don, although I liked seeing Don Miguel, he wasn't necessary. And the family on the right is also like not that necessary. So unfortunately, Max, you're going to lose points for those. Although this is all my opinion, disclaimer alert. If you disagree with me, feel free to disagree. You know, I mean, I'm not the poster child of great RPG Maker game writing. If you've played either of my games, you'll probably realise that. Especially my latest one, which got quite a bit of, oh my god, what the hell are you doing, with regards to the ending. Which I did later revise, so. Bastard. Go to Cali, you bastard. I can't do a Boston accent. What? Okay, this is. Did I mention that this is going on for too long? It's going on for too long. Way too long. Thank you. Now we're back to the actual two characters that I care about. Mara. Isn't that the name of the demon from Shin Megami Tensei who looks like... Yeah, I'm not going to mention it anymore because it's not very PG. If you're interested, look up Mara SMT in Google and you'll know what I mean. That's a great thing for Dad to ask. Wait, okay, what the fuck? I mean, simply look at how everyone got religion in the past few days for evidence of our self-serving hypocrisy. Number one, what the hell does that even mean? Number two, this is a bit of an offhand remark just to put in the middle of a journal. Number three, hypocrisy is spelled wrong. What happened to the president? I guess we find out. Wow, this has been going on for a while, hasn't it? I hope I'm able to save after this cutscene. I'm guessing the president's the guy in the blue suit, not the guy with the blue hair. I can kind of see where this game is going now. It's the standard kind of America critique. Look at how amazing we think we are, and yet we're so screwed up. I think that the narrative is basically unfolding in that direction. I don't have a problem with it, but you and I have seen it quite a few times before. That looks like an explosion. That can't be good. I'm guessing this is a MIDI version of another popular rock song, but I can't recognize off the top of my head. Or can I? Sounds familiar. I'm gonna have to go look into the game files and everything because I do. This rings a bell. This rings several bells. Oh god, when I find out, I'm just gonna be like, ah! Wait, so when was this guy actually writing? When he was in cryosleep? Or am I missing something here? Date? No, thank you. Okay, that was a bad joke. Suddenly, shit happened. So now, within this journal, we have a description of a dream. And now we have a visual representation of the dream as well. Is this a bit much? Just saying. How much deeper does this narrative go? Is it Inception? What looked like a teddy bear. Oh, look at that. That writing right there. That line was pretty good. What happened next was even worse. I woke up. That is a good line. So I don't agree with the whole visual representation of the dream, but that was a good line. They're not all empty. Look behind you. Come to think of it, I don't even know this guy's name. I can play as him now though, which is interesting. I wonder if he's the initial character that we play as. That'd be a very interesting change. Whoa, where the hell am I? Sorry to butt in, I'm just gonna leave now. No? Have we arrived yet? Lol. Surprise, Iron Gaia was a secret cult type thing. Maybe these are terrorists. Ooh. Deep thought. So, did it go through deep learning? There's a lot of research going on to deep learning these days. Just stuff like neural networks or, I don't know, support vector machines, that type of thing. If you've been anywhere around AI, you've probably heard about a lot of recent work done in that area. Wait, what? That's Sigmas? Tell me about it. Oh my god! Oh my god! Wait. Stop and listen. Stop and listen. Do you know what that is yet? Okay, what the fuck? Anyway, just to break this up a bit. This is Metallica's Enter Sandman. Another rock band. Well, I guess these guys were more thrash metal. Trash metal, sorry. Sleep with one eye open. I don't remember the rest. No. I can't really stop now. That was fun. I wonder if their song 1 would have been a better fit. No, actually I think that would be a bit too melodramatic right now. This is more of a, oh my god, shit is happening type feel to it, so I guess that's why Enter Sandman is a good fit. I'm not actually a fan of a lot of these tracks, so like Black Sabbath is shown up. There was also Coheed and Cambria obviously, and now there's Metallica. I'm not really a huge fan of any three of those, I just know about them, really. That mustache, beard, combo. Sweat hair too lol. Sure you can. Have you played an S&T game? What's the point? You're stuck in a giant spaceship. So I guess now we are learning a huge amount of backstory to this game. Huge amount. Oof. And we're back to the present after a loaded backstory. Please let me save. It's been almost an hour now. Has it been 1 hour and 37 minutes? Not exactly, but it still felt pretty long. It's felt like that. So yes, now we have a decent idea of what's going on. So Iron Gaia is a spaceship, or something like a spaceship, a space station, that was created as a sort of evacuation. What's the word? It's like a shelter, basically, from this giant comet that was hurtling towards Earth, the size of Australia. And although there was a bit of a backup plan in place in the vein of Armageddon style, try to destroy the comet using missiles and shit, apparently that didn't work, I think. There might still be people on Earth, but they're probably living in a post-apocalyptic nightmare. So, our protagonist has had quite a bit to think about. So have we. It's really interesting to think about the ways in which AI could go wrong. I mean, there's been a lot of, fictional material about this. Not just this, the Terminator movies as well, and all sorts, really. And this is actually something that scientists are currently taking seriously. Because, thank God I could finally save. I just want to say one more thing. Because really, we are in this position where we as a species are heading towards huge changes in our lifestyles. we're seeing the birth of things such as the idea of universal basic income. Our technology is improving all the time, and along with the improvements in technology comes the sort of ethical dilemmas that come here and there. And there's a lot of work going on in terms of, okay, so imagine that we get to all these developments and we almost kind of evolve as a species, right? So will we at one point get to the point where we create something that is just so fabulous, that's so intricate, that's so intelligent, that's more intelligent than us? And if you've been anywhere in like the computer science or AI sphere, or even if you read the tech news, you would have heard of something called a singularity, which is supposed to be the point at which AI just starts growing exponentially, much faster than us humans currently could ever imagine. And the idea is that we get to that point, AI might get to a position where it just takes over, right? Just takes us humans for hostage and starts milking us for energy and stuff like in the Matrix. So it is an ongoing field actually. You might have heard of transhumanism, which is a fancy way of just saying, it's sort of envelope for all the issues that we as a species are going to face in the midst of increasing artificial intelligence. So there's a lot of talk about, okay, if AI gets to this point, will we be able to make sure that it doesn't like absolutely fucking destroy us? So it's a loaded question, and there's a lot of research going on about it, and that's why it's pretty cool to be playing a game that kind of touches upon these issues. Even if it's at a very high level, you're not going into the real details of what defines artificial intelligence, and that's fair enough, because I don't really expect one person max to tackle all these issues by himself. But I, for one, totally appreciate the idea that this game is actually delving into these kind of issues. In terms of like the whole America thing, I'm not a huge fan, but again, I can kind of recognize its use as a sort of plot device, essentially. So far the writing has been pretty solid, even though this game is like 10 years old now. Written by Max when he was probably in his late teens or something, early 20s. It's pretty solid. So I have to give him credit for that. You are probably not going to be surprised to hear that this is all that I'm going to be playing of this game at this point in time. We're fast approaching an hour, and we've had a lot to think about in terms of backstory. So finally, we've been given a certain amount of direction in terms of where this game is probably headed, where it's been, and where it's headed. So I'm looking forward to playing this a bit more. I don't know if anyone else is still watching at this point, but I really think you guys should stay tuned, because I think we've got a pretty decent narrative on our hands here. So I'm really excited to be playing this game, and I can't wait to see what else it has in store for me. Even if I don't agree with absolutely everything, it's still a refreshing take on RPG genre so far in terms of storytelling. Even if the graphics or the battles aren't great, I can certainly appreciate it right now. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens next time. Until then, this is Yellow Magic signing off. Oh, and thanks again for playing. Fuck me. Thanks again for watching this LP. If you have any comments, critiques, hate mail, etc., I will post some links in the description of this video, and you will, if you don't already know where to find me, you will know where to find me. So until then, this is Yellow Magic signing off.